Today will be an unpleasant episode for owners of expensive premium headphones. Today we'll take a look at FiiO EH13 and try to understand how far affordable Bluetooth headphones for $50 have come. And for contrast, we'll compare them to focal Bathys headphones, which cost about €800 and which I've been using for 3 years. The main question of this episode is, can headphones for $50 bring so much enjoyment that talk about high-end starts to sound a bit awkward? Hello, dear friends. My name is Arkady Zenin. I am the founder of Premium Hi-Fi. We are located in Riga, and everything you see in the frame can be listened to in our demo room. The link is in the video description or in the channel profile. The FiiO EH13 are made very neatly. The headphone housing is made of plastic, and the earpads and headband are covered with eco-leather. You can choose between two color options, white and black. The headphones fold compactly, fit comfortably on your head, and are relatively lightweight. When you wear them, they don't make any extraneous noises. Nothing creaks, clicks, or causes irritation. In my opinion, this is one of the most important criteria for comfortable use. And in the price range of around €50, quiet and neatly assembled headphones are already a rarity. Externally, FiiO EH13 looks quite calm. This is not a luxury item, not a designer thing, and not an accessory that you want to walk into an expensive hotel with to show that you understand life. They look simple, modest, and solid. You can connect the FiiO EH13 in two ways. The first option is via Bluetooth. The headphones support codecs up to LDAC with a bitrate of up to 999 kilobits per second. The second option is via a 3.5 mm cable. Such a cable is included in the package. And that's a nice bonus because wired connectivity is not always available in modern Bluetooth headphones anymore. The headphones pair quickly with your phone, and you can adjust the sound profile through the proprietary FiiO control app by installing it on your smartphone. I want to highlight the Bluetooth connection stability. During the test, I moved about 15 meters away from the phone indoors, and the FiiO EH13 continued to work without any signal interruptions. For budget Bluetooth headphones, this is a very good result. Usually, signal problems can start after just 5 to 7 meters, especially if there are walls or other obstacles between the phone and the headphones. But here, the headphones kept a stable connection up to about 15 meters. I tested them with an iPhone. This is also important because the iPhone usually works quite reliably when it comes to Bluetooth transmission. Some Android smartphones may reduce signal strength to save energy, and in that case, of course, the result may be different. By the way, when using the headphones as a headset for calls, the sound quality is very good. You can hear the other person well, and they can hear you well too. When I first listened to them, I was very surprised by the sound quality of these inexpensive headphones. For about $50, you get really good sound that can easily compete with models that cost significantly more. I'm not talking about true high-end here, but about popular mass-market Bluetooth headphones like the Sony VH1000XM series and other models that are several times more expensive. Of course, as is often the case nowadays, FiiO EH13 has a noticeable bass boost. For those who like a richer bass, this can be really great. But personally, I felt that there was a bit more bass than I would have liked. That's why I used the settings from the blogger Krino Krinikal in the Runark app, which I used to listen to the FiiO EH13. After this adjustment, the sound became more acceptable to me. After equalization, the sound became more balanced, tonally smooth and even, although even without equalization, the sound is already pleasantly surprising. The texture of the music comes through very clearly. Despite the fact that the headphones cost about $50, you can clearly and distinctly hear the instrument parts and the musician's performance. I was especially surprised that FiiO EH13 creates a good three-dimensional soundstage. For closed-back headphones, the soundstage turned out to be quite wide and even gives a slight sense of depth layering. And this is where the most interesting part begins. These headphones cost $50. And that's exactly why a provocative question arises. So why do we even need high-end then? Of course, this doesn't mean that FiiO EH13 completely replace expensive premium headphones, but they do show very well that decent sound has become much more accessible today than it used to be. For comparison, let's take the Focal Bathys, premium Bluetooth headphones for about 800 euros. Focal Bathys is a different story altogether. They have it all: design, materials, brand name, a sense of premium quality, and the feeling of belonging to a higher class of devices. People buy them not just for the sound, but also for the refined design, the Focal brand, and the overall feeling of owning something expensive. And it's important to admit that honestly. FiiO EH13 sound unexpectedly good for their price, but they look pretty ordinary. There are many headphones on the market with a similar appearance. They look modest and solid, but they don't give off a sense of luxury. Focal Bathys, on the other hand, give a sense of premium quality. This is a device that's pleasant to hold, pleasant to wear, and pleasant to show off. They have the status and aesthetics of an expensive product. That's why it's not just about the sound. FiiO EH13 can deliver very good sound for a small amount of money. Focal Bathys give you sound, design, brand, materials, prestige, and the feeling of owning a premium item. And here, everyone decides for themselves what they're paying for. Now let's talk about noise cancellation. FiiO claims noise cancellation of up to 42 dB, and I'd like to comment on this claim a bit. For reference, the noise level in a typical apartment in a multi-story building is usually around 40 dB as long as no one is running, drilling, or yelling. At night, when the neighbors quiet down, the noise level can drop to about 30 dB. In good studios with special acoustic insulation, the background noise level can be around 20 dB. Therefore, if you take the statement of up to 42 dB literally, it turns out that when you turn on noise cancellation in a regular apartment, you should almost reach absolute silence. But in reality, of course, this doesn't happen. These 42 dB are achieved in laboratory conditions and within a certain narrow frequency range. There is such a footnote with an asterisk on the FiiO website. Usually, active noise cancellation works most effectively in the low frequency range. For example, on public transit, on a plane, on a commuter train, on a bus, or around steady city noise. But speech frequencies and high frequencies are suppressed noticeably less, and this is normal for many headphones with active noise cancellation. I found one noticeable drawback with FiiO EH13. The noise cancellation doesn't work well in the wind. If you're walking down the street and the wind is blowing, unpleasant noises and interference start to appear in the speakers, drowning out the music. The noise cancellation tries to fight the wind, but it doesn't do it perfectly. As a result, you don't hear silence, but some extra sounds. At the same time, on a commuter train, on a bus, or just on the street without strong wind, the noise cancellation works quite well. But the FiiO EH13 has good passive noise isolation. The headphones themselves do a pretty good job of isolating you from external noise. And even without the noise cancelling turned on, that's a big advantage. And that means you don't even need to turn on active noise cancelling when you're outside. But in a bus, train, or commuter train, you can use it because it will be more useful there. It's conveniently activated with the press of a single button, either on the headphones themselves or through the app. When you turn on noise cancellation, the tonal balance changes a bit. I would even say that in some situations it changes for the better, because you start to hear the bass parts of the music more clearly. The external noise stops drowning them out. There's another point worth mentioning. Some buyers of FiiO EH13 complain that the 3.5mm jack for connecting an external analog source doesn't work properly on all units. Here it is. On my unit, this jack works fine, but since such comments can be found online, my recommendation is simple. Buy these headphones from a seller who can easily and painlessly replace the unit if the wired connection doesn't work for you. The link, of course, is in the description. The main takeaway is this. FiiO EH13 are very interesting headphones for those who want good sound quality for a small price and don't want to deal with unnecessary hassle. They don't replace Focal Bathys as a premium product. Focal has design, materials, name recognition, status, and the feel of an expensive item. And compared to FiiO EH13 Focal has a USB-C input which allows you to connect a computer or a phone through a digital interface. This significantly improves the sound quality. But at the same time, FiiO EH13 clearly shows that good sound today no longer has to cost 800 euros. And in my opinion, this is the most interesting part of this story. This was Arkady Zenin and Premium Hi-Fi. We are in Riga, connecting people with sound. That's all for now. And may the force of the right sound for you be with you. Come visit us.